Good afternoon, Niner faithful. Happy Victory Monday. I know the Niners didn't play this Sunday, but it definitely feels like a Victory Monday coming off the bye week because there was a major announcement from the 49ers and some of the reporters. The 49ers had a light practice today, and there's some really good news regarding practice. So many players came back. So, first and foremost, the 49ers opened the injured reserve practice window for linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair, Colton McKivitz, offensive lineman, and running back Elijah Mitchell. This is huge news as the 49ers were banged up early in the season, but it seems like the bye week let them heal up, and they're going to get a lot of players back for this second half stretch run. 4-4 into the bye, they got to rest. And again, Azeez Al-Shaair, Colton McKivitz, and Elijah Mitchell all returned to practice. That's huge news for the 49ers moving forward. And it was reported last week that Elijah Mitchell should be back this week against the Chargers. So he's back in practice. McKivitz and Al-Shaair, we don't know exactly when they'll be back, but it looks like it could be within the next week or two. Very good news. In addition to that, the 49ers signed wide receiver Tajae Sharpe to the team's practice squad. He's a veteran receiver. Obviously, they've had some injuries with the receivers, Jauan Jennings and Debo, specifically with the hamstring injury. So they got a guy with depth. He's a veteran. Maybe they stash him there. And in order to do so, they released tight end Troy Fumagalli. They had a kind of a surplus with tight ends, and they had to make a move to sign the guy, Tajae Sharpe. So Troy Fumagalli was released from the practice squad. So to recap, the 49ers signed wide receiver Tajae Sharpe. They released tight end Troy Fumagalli, and they opened the injured reserve practice windows for linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair, offensive lineman Colton McKivitz, and running back Elijah Mitchell. On top of that, the 49ers also had some other good news. It doesn't stop right there. They actually had several other players return to practice. Wide receiver Debo Samuel, who's having a hamstring issue, he came back to practice today. Jauan Jennings, he returned to practice today. Kyle Juszczyk with the broken finger, he is back at practice today. And Jason Verrett, who's, rehabbing from the torn ACL, but he was there in practice last week. He was also at practice today. So all these guys that have been through some injuries were there today. It was a light practice from what the reports are saying. But great news. Debo Samuel, Jauan Jennings, Kyle Juszczyk, and Jason Verrett were at practice today. Now, there wasn't all good news. There were a few players that didn't come back. Again, it was a very light practice from what the reports are saying. But there were a few people that did not practice for the early portion open to the media, according to Nick Wagner of ESPN. You had Arik Armstead, Dre Greenlaw, and Javon Kinlaw. Those three players were not at practice today. Again, Javon Kinlaw, Arik Armstead, and Dre Greenlaw were not practicing, but Debo Samuel, Kyle Juszczyk, Jason Verrett, and Jauan Jennings all were practicing today. Great news. It looks like the team is headed in the right direction. Injuries are, something that really hit this team early on, but I think they're going to get very healthy, and I think they're going to be able to go on a run. So really good news today. I hope you guys are having a great Monday and a great bye week. So leave some comments down there. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate the faithful. Let's go Niners. Bang, bang. Niner gang.